Okay, thank you for joining us tonight. We will officially open our Cache County Council meeting. I'm supposed to do this. I hate it. We're done. We're open. The opening tonight is me, and I would like to begin the meeting with a prayer, if you'll all join me. Our dear Father, which art in heaven, we are so grateful for the many blessings that we receive, and we're grateful to live here in this Cache Valley and for the beautiful place that we live and the good people that we live amongst. And Father, at this time, as the world is in so much turmoil, we would ask thy blessings to rain down upon all of us and our leaders and leaders of nations, that wisdom will be used and that we might all be able to be safe and understand the things that need to happen in our world. Father, we are so grateful for the leaders of our county and for the opportunity that we have to work together and to make decisions that will hopefully make things better for everyone. Please help us to be aware of those that are less fortunate among us and those in our community that need our help. And please guide us tonight as we make decisions and have discussions, that we will be able to use good judgment and wisdom in all that we do. And we ask these things humbly in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, will you all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. We've got a lot going on tonight, so let's get to it. First of all, I need someone to review and approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the agenda. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, what about the minutes? I didn't see anything concerning the
Tonight,
minutes.
so I'll make a motion we approve the minutes from
I'll second it.
March 24th, 2026.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes from March 24th, County Council meeting minutes. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, report of the county executive.
I have distributed a couple of things to you. This is a chart. Janine prepared this. I asked her to organize the government visually with the way it is with the three branches, the legislative, the executive, and the judicial. We don't have a judicial branch, but actually the county attorney acts as our judicial branch because he advises us on our legal rights and our legal responsibilities. So that's why that's the third branch. We've got a dotted line between the district attorney and the sheriff because of their unique relationship. But I think that's helpful for people to understand how our government fits together. We have a bunch of county entities at the bottom here, which in some cases are under the executive, sometimes they're under the legislative, and sometimes they're also associated with the county executive. So that's something, if any of you have a dispute or anything, but if someone asks us what our organization looks like, that's what we'll be giving them. As you know, we're working on reorganizing the airport governance. We've had a withdrawal agreement from Logan City. You have not yet approved that withdrawal agreement. We've worked on some amendments to it because since it was signed by the city, there's some things we're changing around on it. No problems that are involved with that, but we're continuing to work on it. We received a report in 2004, a couple of years ago, making 30 recommendations for the airport. I'm working through those recommendations one by one. The first recommendation was to consolidate ownership. That's what we're doing. Recommendation 2, 3, and 4, I have copied and put in this handout to you. I'd appreciate it if you'd read that. That'll give you background over what we'll be bringing to you over the next 2 or 3 meetings as we work with the Airport Authority Board, Logan City, and the airport personnel to reorganize that. I think we're generally headed in the direction of having a a sponsor, which would be us, an airport authority board, and then management under the airport authority board. Again, there's some legal work that needs to be done to see how all of that's going to fit together. We want to talk with our partner Logan about that so they're comfortable with what we're doing there.
George, and as you do this, can I just say that any of that's done, the agreements and the boards and the bylaws all have to be approved by the council. And so we have a council member that's actually working on that with our staff. Would you please include them? And because
Yeah, we are. And
okay, because
Keegan is going to be deeply involved in that. I think we've given these materials to Andrew, and we will be working with him, and he will be a participant in those meetings.
I hate for something to come to us that we're not comfortable with, where if we'd have been a part of the crafting of it, then it's more of a collaboration. So,
No question about that.
thank you.
The third thing, we've been very active in working on the fire board, and we've had a couple of meetings with cities. We're getting some legal advice about how the organization needs to be set up, and we're kind of going the next step of explaining to each of the cities how they would be affected by this. What I've handed out to you is the kind of materials we're giving to the cities. This particular chart takes each city by city and shows what they're currently funding fire and EMS at, what portion of that would be of their own taxable value, what ours would, if we put a levy on them at 8 or 7 or 6, what would be the effects on the city, how much money would they get, and so we're having those discussions with the various units. I pulled one particular unit, which is Mendon. I went out and spent time last week with Mendon and went through their particular situation. This chart, the first column, is Mendon's column in this larger chart. But while I was with Mendon, I explained to them that their service area was much larger than just Mendon City, that they would also be taking care of the unincorporated county that's within their fire district. They already have lines that we're using for emergency purposes and dispatching vehicles that describe their service area. Let's see, I'm not sure I brought it in, but the area that Mendon serves is 5 or 6 times the physical area of Mendon City. And so I told them that the unincorporated taxable area in their district would also be funding that would go to the Mendon Fire and EMS program. This second column here is that. So you can see that there's actually more taxable area in their fire district that's outside of the city than inside the city. So Mendon would receive, if the mill levy were at 800 mills or 0.08 mills or however you figure that, they would be getting $130,000 from their own citizens, but another $171,000 for citizens in the unincorporated area. What this shows is that we look at these rural fire departments, their concern is that the county handling this is going to expose them to not having sufficient resources. The county will actually have $1,200,000 to distribute among the rural fire station, take care of the unincorporated area. So Mendon here would have $302,000. Now, that's got to cover their operation. It's also got to cover EMS, and it's also got to cover their capital needs. They're going to have to replace fire trucks and build stations and things like that. So that's the kind of thing we're doing with the fire district. Any questions as to what we are doing with talking to cities? I think I've got a meeting set up this next week to go up to Richmond and talk to all the cities in the northern end of the valley about the fire district.
I have one question, George, and we can talk about this later, because I've seen this a lot, but this 91,000 that is set for that's what their budget, does that include, like, the firemen that we send out there, that we pay for, or the resources that we already give to Mendon? Like, so they're actually spending more than 91?
It's really
Or does that even matter?
Not complete. What it covers is the amount that's in their general fund.
From
that
their
they-
tax?
From their tax. They also do something interesting, Sandy. They charge on their water bill a $5 per water bill for EMS. So it's really just those two.
Okay.
The county has been supporting them significantly. They have a pumper truck that cost us something like $300,000 that's in Mendon. So that, personnel, training, there's a whole bunch of support we're giving them. So as we look at transferring, all of that's gotta be looked at and so on.
There's a lot to
It's
it.
going to be a while to get this to fit together and understand, but I think the rural fire departments recognize the benefits they've received from the county, and we need to do what's necessary to make sure those rural fire departments continue to function.
I have a question, if I may. So we show Mendon. Is the part that you're showing at the area of unincorporated what Mendon City has said would be their annexation map? Or is that broader than that annexation
That's
map?
broader, that's quite a bit larger than their.
That would be the same thing for such as Wellsville or Hiram or any of those others, just like
Right.
what you've done on Mendon?
Right, I think you'll find as you get into the more rural part of the county, that more and more true. Paradise has less citizens in its city than it has in the unincorporated area around them. I think the same thing may be true in the northern end. Cove, all that area is unincorporated. So there's quite a bit of area. So as you get out in those rural areas, that's where most of the money we collect from the unincorporated citizens is gonna go back into the community.
Okay, that helps answer some of
The
those.
last part of my report is just an update as to what's happening with the Clarkston Road matter, and I'd just like to turn this over to our county attorney to kind of make a report on what's happening there. Dane?
So we're going forward with the litigation out there. The Clarkson Group filed for a temporary restraining order just today that the county will join, just trying to prevent any obstructions to the roadways out there. All 5 is what they're seeking. There was some indication that the landowner is going to put gates up, and so that's what our purpose of joining that is, to prevent any obstruction of those while the litigation is pending.
Okay. Does anyone have any other questions for the executive, for the things that he's, for his report?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the first thing on our agenda for item of special interest is our Cache County America 250 Committee. And it says it was going to be Barbara Tidwell, but we have representation from the committee. It is Karina Brown and Pam Budge, and we're so happy that you're here. So we'll just turn some time over to you guys.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak to you this evening. Barbara gives her best. She's not able to be here today, so Pam and I are happy to be here with you. As you know, it's the 250th anniversary of America this year. It's the semi-quincentennial. And as we've been planning in our committee and meeting for the last several months, I've thought about having gratitude for the past, appreciation for the present, and hope for the future. And I found a inspiring quote from President Abraham Lincoln, and he said, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." And I think it's a great time to be civically engaged and to contribute as citizens in our country. And so we appreciate this opportunity to serve on this committee and help be a special part of the celebration. I want to give a shout out and thank you to Cache County for your donation to contribute towards the celebrations, as well as the state of Utah and Utah State University. I have our website up here, the county website, and updated it with a list of events. So if you go on the county page, or if you just Google Cache County America 250, it'll bring up this page. And so it has events that will be going on the rest of the year, up, especially the next few months. One of the key events that's coming up was actually Andrew's idea to have a gala. So it's going to be a dance on June 13th, and it will be at the Cache County Event Center. And so there'll be music. It's called Dancing Through the Decades. So it'll be a free event. So another couple of events that I wanted to highlight was
What kind of dance you gonna do?
the
It's gonna be a surprise.
July 1st American Festival Chorus will be having a free concert at the Logan Tabernacle at 7:30. There will be a community potluck on July 5th at Mack Park. And so there'll be a nationwide community potluck, so we will be a part of that. Our committee is in the process of designing with a designer banners that will be in Logan downtown for 5 weeks, patriotic banners. So we're looking forward to that. And we also are working with the city of Logan to develop a community art project. So it's still in process, but I will let you know when that process is complete, but it'll be really exciting. So I'll turn the time over to Pam to share some things that she's working on.
Okay, I wanted to talk about, we're going to try to be in all of the parades for the cities and towns this coming season. And we decided to throw out Declarations of Independence rolled up. And since that's what we're celebrating, 250th anniversary of, we've been in the USU parade last year, and people just absolutely love the declarations. It's so fun. Like the kids they all ask for one, and lots of fun. So we'll be doing that. We'll be in Smithfield and Richmond next month. And then also we have social media pages. So we're on Facebook, Instagram, and X. And if you just search America 250 Cache County, you'll be able to find us. But I kind of wanted to talk about some of the types of posts that we do. This is on our Facebook page, just the different posts. We have posts on this day on this day in history. So we want to focus on just the time period, the American Revolution time period. So a recent one was Patrick Henry's speech. And we have recommended resources. My favorite is founders.archives.gov. So if you ever see a quote floating around and you wonder, did he really say that? You can go and type in the few words. And it's a huge database with all of their letters and documents and words. Also, we wanted to really highlight the signers of the Declaration. And so we decided to do that on their birthdays. And so we have just short biographies that we get from this book that was written in 1860. And just to kind of learn about them, because most of them, I think, I did not know until I started this process. And I've been so impressed and so inspired by what they did and who they were. The other is we wanted to highlight other people in the American Revolution. George Washington, for example, did not sign the Declaration, but he's a huge part of the American Revolution. So that's kind of where we highlighted him. We have women and Black Americans and a few Native Americans who also helped. The other type of post we have is the Walk 250, and that's something that the state America 250 has started. It's to get people out in America, walking around, seeing it, and with the goal of walking 250 miles this year. And they have prizes for those who do. But we wanted to highlight trails and walking paths that are unique to Cache County, mostly, and so give you ideas of where to go for that. The last is we wanted to share some quotes from our founders. Their words, all of these will be sourced, so you'll see that. I wanted to share a quote by John Adams that he wrote to his wife Abigail that kind of summarizes why we're doing this. He said this: "Posterity, you will never know how much it costs the present generation to preserve your freedom. I hope you will make a good use of it. If you do not, I shall repent in heaven that I ever took half the pains to preserve it." And I feel like that's what I really personally want to do. I want to be able to show him and our other founders that we still care, that all that they went through was not in vain. And so that's that.
Thank you so much. I want to congratulate both of you, and you're both great examples of civic engagement, so I look up to both of you. So thank you for
I have a
being part of
question.
this. Yes?
I've heard of other committees too on this same thing. Are you incorporating other committees, or are you just solely, are you a Cache County committee? Is that what you are called?
Yeah, we're the Cache County Committee, and we were appointed by the county council. There's 8 of us, but there's like a county employee committee, there's different city committees, and actually the potluck on July 5th is organized mainly by the Smithfield America 250 Committee, but we'll be working with them on that as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Mayor,
Yes.
what is the book you have? I didn't see it. You flashed it quickly.
Yeah, it's the biographical sketches of the signers of the Declaration. It was written in 1860 by B.J. Lossing. It's a book I've had on my shelf for a few years. Been able to use it.
And you mentioned a lot of resources that you're going to have. Are they mostly going to be on Facebook?
Yes, I think mostly that's
Or on the
you'll
county
see it.
website.
Or on
too.
the county
And
website?
the
The
events.
quotes and the things on their birthdays, the little sketches, life sketches on their birthdays, etc. That's a Facebook.
Oh, it's actually, yeah, Facebook, Instagram, and X, all of them.
Okay, and
So,
is it Cache County to America 250 or what is it?
just swap that, America 250 Cache County.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
And the events list that I had
I'll
up
invite
there
you.
has the Smithfield events and Logan City. I put some of the Logan City events too. As any that I hear about, I'll put on that page.
How about, I mean, this is a lot. It's fascinating. How about dollars to be able to finance bigger and better?
They've collected.
You're looking for money,
They
enough
have
money?
collected.
We have quite a bit of funds.
Okay, I just
we
want to make
do.
sure.
Thank you so much. So we appreciate the county and the state and then USU as well. So we have enough for now for what we were wanting to do, but I'll let you know if we need.
Keep us in touch there as to, because a lot of these events, these are going to be, I don't think I'll be around at the next 250. So
Okay. Yeah.
let's really, let's make it what you're doing there, the celebration, make sure you're financed.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, next we have Will Lusk, our illustrious emergency manager, to talk to us about some training. And we have public hearings too, so and I know we're going to be with you Thursday night.
It's about 6 minutes.
We have about 6 minutes.
Andrew told me 5, and so hold me to it.
We're perfect.
So that I don't have to take very much of your time, you should have a packet of papers on your desk with all the documents on. And if you have trouble sleeping at night, trust me, the one that says Cache County Council Emergency Operations Guide is really good for helping you sleep. Just consider that your tax dollars at work. But it is good to be with you this evening. Yep, a couple quick items of note. It is that time of year again to make sure we dot the i's, cross the t's, and stay on top of our game, because we do not know when the disasters will strike. I did bring a small gift that was given to me 21 years ago by the Logan City Council on the first night that I made a budget presentation at the council workshop there. I told them that you'll see in the budget we put in a requisition for a crystal ball, so that we'll know when every disaster will strike, we'll know how it's gonna strike, when it's gonna strike, and know how to be prepared for it when it does. They thought I was not serious, and in kindness, they gave me this small object. And I have found out over the last 21 years, it's not a magic crystal ball, it's actually a snow globe. Sadly, I knocked it off the shelf yesterday, or not yesterday, Saturday, about midday, and the storm rolled through. It is quite accurate though, but I do have to be careful when and how we move it around. Don't want to cause too many problems with it. But in all seriousness, and I do apologize for the crystal ball, but there should be a packet that you have, both hard copy and electronic copy with documents in it inviting you to training opportunities coming up. Every organization does have requirements both laid out by the state of Utah as well as our own wants, wishes, and desires, and it is that time of year to take a serious look at, if we did have the big one, what should we, ought we, or should, can we do when the ground shakes, the thunder roars, or it's time to do day to day just a little bit different. Coming up Thursday night from 6 to 8 p.m. You're welcome, and would love to have any and all of you at the Emergency Operations Center at the Sheriff's Office. We will be doing the annual countywide communication exercise in conjunction with faith-based groups and civic groups here in the Cache County area as well. But we will also try to look at a 5.7 earthquake here on the East Cache fault line, and yes, we do have fault lines here in Cache County. They go up and down both of our mountain ranges, both on the east and the west, and we even have the Dayton fault that comes down from the Idaho border and ends about in the area of Benson, sorry. And if you remember 2023, that nice little beautiful spot in downtown Benson, we had 14 minor earthquakes occurring back in 2023. Anything from as small as a 0.8 all the way up to a 3.0 within a matter of 13 days. Don't believe me? Come Thursday night, we'll show you the U.S. Geological Survey seismic site. You can see them. We had a 3.0 up Logan Canyon a month ago. Anybody feel it? Amazingly, it is kind of strange of when we feel them and when we don't. But 3.0, 6 miles deep in the ground, Blind Hollow was our last Cache County earthquake. On a day-to-day basis, we monitor not only for those, but for wildland fires and 19 other disaster types. And sorry, long story short, come Thursday night to the county EOC. We will guide you through if this was the big one in Cache County. What would we do? What should we do? And how should we do it to best accomplish taking care of the people we work for? Similarly, coming up Saturday morning, April 25th, across the street at the Logan City Council Chambers will be the annual National Incident Management System training for senior and elected officials. Every response organization out there has yearly training that they have to go through, and even the federal government in its wisdom and our state government in their wisdom have outlined annual training for senior and elected officials. I know you're very busy. if you can, love to have you there on that day. Nicely, you don't have to listen to me that morning. There will be representatives from both the state of Utah here, as well as my counterpart on the other side of the valley, Mark Millett, does a wonderful job teaching that course and taking you through that training. He's delivered it now 3 times, one in Box Elder County, one in Weber County, and one in Davis County, and it's our turn coming up in a couple weeks. If you can make it, please join with us. Love to have you there. Love what George and Kurt have done with the organization chart, updating it. When you do come to the Emergency Operations Center, whether you know it or not, you are part of the Cache County Policy Group. And many of the names on that organization chart will be around that policy group table with you, trying to determine what are we going to do when we get down to Chief George's last ambulance. And he says, hey, I've got more calls than I have ambulances. Who's going to go with that one? I know you pay him a lot of money, but sadly, policymakers have to sometimes help make and guide and direct some of those decisions too. They're certainly not easy ones to make by any stretch of the imagination, but very important ones. Long story short, if and when you are available, love to conduct our annual training with you as a council and an elected group, as well as invite you to those other trainings as they fit your schedules.
Should we,
The opportunity to continue to work alongside with you. I hope the bad ones never come. I will be careful with the magic crystal ball. I've been shaking it just a little bit. Hopefully we'll get some more moisture at the end of this weekend and 1 or 2 more times before we get into summer. Promise not to drop it on the ground anymore. But thank you for all you do for us. It's a pleasure working alongside you and the other elected officials here in Cache County. Thank
we
you.
appreciate you, Will. And the question I had was, would it be helpful for us to bring any of this material with us Thursday night? Save some trees?
Absolutely. Having reviewed that council guide to emergency operations, it'll make you very familiar with what an emergency operations center is, how it functions, and allow us even more so on that night to spend a little bit more time on the electronics, talking about coordinating with response agencies out in the field, doing damage assessments, and getting information in to decision makers and policy makers in the Emergency Operations Center. So absolutely, I know it's short notice. I'm not the school teacher, but absolutely, if you could get through that by Thursday night, you'll have a really good understanding of not only why the Emergency Operations Center, but even more so once we get there, what do we do and how should we do it? Great question. Thank
Does
you.
anyone have any other questions for Will? Okay, thank you again.
Yeah, thank you.
Shake that crystal ball so we can get a little more snow. I think we might.
I'll do just a little bit.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Diana, the tax exemptions are up next.
Do we need to do their public hearings?
Oh, you know what? We're gonna wait. You're true. We're gonna do public hearings first. Okay. So our first public hearing is appointments to the Millville, Nibley, and Cornish Cemetery Maintenance District Board vacancies. Okay.
Good evening, Council. In your media packets, there should be a list of names of those who have applied to be on the Millville Nibley Cemetery Maintenance District. Unfortunately, we did not get any applicants for the Cornish Maintenance Cemetery District Board. From those 4 names, the process from here on out based on precedent, is they will come up here, spend up to 2 minutes, explain why they would like to serve on the board. And then after that, later on in the meeting, there is a resolution that has one blank spot to fill the vacancy, and it would be appropriate for you all to motion and amend the resolution to contain the individual that you would like appointed. Do you have any questions on the process or anything related to this?
Anybody have questions for Andrew? I think we're good. Are they all here? Well, I'll just ask.
Say, there was one person who did reach out and say that they were not able to make it in time. They had a pre-planned prior commitment. Their resume was sent along, and it should be in your media packet as well.
Okay. All right, so I guess I'll start at the first, and Byron Kim Ashcroft, are you here?
Yes.
Okay, would you please come and take a couple of minutes to tell us about yourself and why you would like to serve on the cemetery district?
Well, you know my name, Byron Kim Ashcroft.
Thank you.
And I worked for Logan City for 38 years and retired about a year and a half ago. And my good friend Will asked me here a little while ago, how do you keep yourself bored? Well, I don't have a problem finding plenty of stuff to do, but now this is my opportunity to serve the great community that has given so much to me. So I want to give back a little bit of my time.
Okay, perfect. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Ashcroft? Okay, all right, thank you so much. Okay, next we have Robert Strong Bear Bates. Robert, are you here? We'd love to hear from you if you are. Okay. All right, next we have Blake Downs. Blake, are you here?
He's the one who wasn't able to come.
Is he the one that wasn't able to come?
Yeah, he wasn't able to.
Okay. And then the last one is Curtis Smothers. Is Curtis here? Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Ashcroft. We'll have to take a vote on that later in the meeting. So thank you for showing up and joining us tonight. Okay, 8A2, the public hearing on ordinance 2026-14, the Dutson 2 rezone. Brian, I think you're going to be up here a bit with us.
Good evening, how are you? I'm Brian Abbott with Development Services. Tonight we have the Dutson 2 rezone located. Wrong one. That's okay. Located just north of Newton on the road to Newton Dam. Currently used for agricultural purposes right now. Short summary. There was a previous request for a rezone of 15.12 acres from A10 to RU2. That was back in January, and that was denied. It's located 0.4 miles north of the Newton boundary. There's a max potential of 3 lots in the RU5 zone. The nearest RU5 zone is approximately 1.16 miles southeast of this property. It is not located within a future annexation area of a municipality. The Newton town is opposed to this rezone right now. The general plan identifies this area as agriculture and ranching with preferred densities of not less than 1 unit per 10 acres. This came before Planning Commission March 5th of 2026. The Planning Commission recommended approval of the rezone to the County Council on a vote of 3-2 with 1 abstention. The conclusions that the Planning Commission had is the rezone request meets the standards of the RU5 zone. It allows for residential development in a moderately dense pattern that should be located and designed to not unreasonably impede adjacent agricultural uses, nor to unreasonably conflict with municipal development standards. The zone is appropriately served by roads, utilities, and public services, and it is within a half mile of a municipal boundary and would result in 3 lots or less. Any questions about the Dutson rezone?
Questions for Brian at this point?
So how does that work with it being divided? You know, would the lots be on one side or the other, or?
I believe, I don't know if I want to speak for the applicant or not, but last time he was here, he wanted The reason for this rezone is so he could put both homes on the 0011 lot so that they could keep 0020 open for their farming purposes.
Okay, is the applicant here? Would you like to speak to us?
Hello, I'm Paul Dutson, the one who owns the land there. So me and my brother want to move out there and bring our farms and our family and just live out there. It's quiet, it's different. We grew up on a farm and stuff, and it kind of went away, and so we're just coming out there. The farmer who does farm my land, I've told him that he still can farm it. We're only going to take a piece of it. And so I was going to build on a half, he was going to build on a half. We're going to be on the one side of it, the 10 acres there, and then the other side is just going to be still for farming and stuff, unless down the road my sister decides she wants to build there. And so that's pretty much what it is. And so, like I says, I'm just moving out there, been looking for a piece of land for years and found a nice piece, and we decided to buy it and start our families out there, or bring our families and farm.
So the 5 acres is on one side of the road, and then the other side has the 10 acres?
Correct.
And that's where you would put the 2 homes, is on that 10 acres?
Yes.
For now?
For now, yep.
Okay.
And so he's going to build on the north end, and I was going to build on the south end, and then the other side's just going to be open there. And we wanted to keep it into green belt, so we were going to just kind of, he was going to take 5.5, and then I was just going to keep the 5 and then the other 5 there, so we can stay into green belt. If you don't build more than, take more than a half an acre of land or so.
I think the first acre is always not greenbelt, but I'm not
Yes.
sure. Yeah.
Correct, yes.
Have all that, yeah. Okay. Does anyone else have questions for Mr. Dutson?
So how long have you had the land there?
For about a year. And so the farmer, he's just been farming it and stuff. So.
Okay.
I have another question. I heard a comment that it would be nice if you could put the power underground. Have you thought of that, or?
It's all what the power company wants me to do. That's their, I guess, supposed to do. The only thing the county's required me to do once everything's approved is just to do the road and stuff, and just make an easement on the way we pull into our property or stuff like that. So, yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Is there anyone else here from the public that would like to speak to this project? Okay.
We have to close the public hearing.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we close public hearing. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we'll now open the public hearing on 2026-17, no, 2026-15, the 40-acre industrial rezone, another rezone. Brian? Wait, we're going to let Brian talk first.
All right, this is a 40-acre rezone request, just barely outside of Amalga. It's located immediately adjacent. They want to request the rezone from the A10 to the industrial high zone. You see here, so that shaded area is Amalga City, so it's just right, borders them. Right to the north are the Schreiber Ponds. I don't know if that helps you kind of know where it's at. Summary of this rezone request. It's located along SR 218 UDOT Road. The adjacent uses are agriculture on the east, west, and south, and then the Schreiber Ponds right there to the north. The nearest industrial zone in the county is located 3.56 miles away, south of Smithfield. Adjacent properties in Amalga are zoned light industrial. Amalga does not want to annex at this time, citing that getting services there would be too costly. Planning Commission heard this also on March 5th, 2026. They recommended denial to the County Council on a vote of 6-0. Their conclusions, the property is inconsistent with the general plan that identifies this property as having a future land use of agriculture and ranching. And the nearest parcel zone industrial is, again, 3.5 miles to the south of Smithfield. And that's that summary. Anything else for me?
I think we're good for now. Okay. All right. Would you please identify yourself and tell us what you'd like to say?
Is it appropriate to end these around? I'm Dakota Bodley, and I propose this rezone. Currently, the parcel is zoned agricultural. The stated purpose of the zoning is to encourage and to place emphasis on agricultural-related activities. Due to the unsuitable soil conditions, the property is not viable for farming, as evidenced by the parcel not holding greenbelt status. There is very poor crop yield, so the field is just weeds. This parcel is also not desirable for residential development due to its proximity with Schreiber's Waste Ponds to the north and the dairy dump to the east. Industrial zoning represents the most appropriate and functional use of the land. The requested zoning aligns with the surrounding area's use. Existing industrial use by the Schreiber's Waste Ponds to the north despite the agricultural zoning, and then adjacent light industrial zoning to the east, and Amalga, a gas station proposal, is being reviewed on that parcel through the city. Although there is not an industrial zoning in the county nearby, rezoning to industrial is consistent and compatible with the surrounding parcel use. Rezoning supports the natural transition of highest and best use in the area and would conform with surrounding parcels. It would bring new business development, job creations, provide much needed space for blue-collar businesses, and increase tax revenues. This rezone request reflects a practical, compatible, and economical benefit use of the property. Given the surrounding land uses and limitations of the parcel, the industrial zoning is the most logical.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bodley. Does anyone have questions for the proponent? Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else from the public that would like to speak to this project? Now's your time. Okay.
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we close public hearing on 2026-15. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. The 2026-17, is that you also, Brian? Okay, will you?
This is more or less kind of a housekeeping item for our ordinance numbering system. The state of Utah has significantly updated and renumbered its Land Use Development and Management Act codes, which include the County Land Use Development and Management Act. So the code text amendments are not intended to modify policy, but merely to ensure sections of our county code which reference the state's Land Use and Development Act point to the correct section as it is currently numbered in state statute. So, I don't know if you've had a chance to look at all of these. I don't think you want me to read them all.
No.
The text is exactly the same, it just cites a different number for code. We'd like to align that with the state.
Does anyone have any other questions about that for Brian? Okay, thanks, Brian. Okay, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak to this ordinance? Okay.
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we close public hearing. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, ordinance 2026-18, the consolidated fee schedule for 911 services. Is that Chief George? Who's?
Andrew. Andrew.
Oh, Andrew, okay.
Good evening, Council. So ordinance 2026-18 comes from a prior commitment that the County Council made last year with Logan City. Specifically, for the context of this is Cache County is a party to the interlocal agreement for dispatch services with Logan City. It was executed originally in 2017. The agreement continues to govern the provisions of dispatch services by Logan to the county and other entities. Amendment number 1 was what the County Council considered last year, and that the purpose of that amendment was to increase the fee assessment so that our dispatch center could continue to be funded and essentially be a reliable service for the county. The County Council I guess the correct word would be passed the interlocal agreement. It was signed, and part of the provisions of those agreements, there is a set increase that the county has to agree to or increase fees by year. So initially it was a 30-cent jump, but every year afterwards is just a 3% increase instead of a 10%. So this year, that means the new assessment needs to be moved from the current $3.30 to a new $3.40. Here's the part of the interlocal agreement that talks about the mandated increases. It's supposed to happen until 2030, so you'll be seeing this for quite a bit.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Andrew?
But this is the text of the amendment itself. You have the change from $3.30 to $3.40, and then you have a change in state code reference because, as Mr. Abbott pointed out, there was a recodification of Title 17 in state code, so the reference changed. So.
And it was agreed upon that all funds stay in that.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's not gonna turn into a
Nope.
Nope, it was pretty clear.
enterprise fund.
Yeah.
So what's the total amount?
The total amount for the assessment that's being collected by the county? That's a good question. I'm not sure if our auditor has that right off the top of his head. No? Okay.
We can find out.
Find out.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Andrew. Is there anyone here from the public that would like to speak to this amendment or this ordinance? Okay, all right.
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Jim moved and seconded that we close public hearing. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, ordinance 2026-19. This one has to do with the county fire and EMS. That is going to be Chief George.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to present this. Basically, what we're trying to accomplish with this is to just match our fees with what our actual operating expense is with these. Most of the fees that you see that are just blue entirely with nothing that's redded out, those are fees that we've added to services we've been providing that we didn't have a good classification for. Part of the kind of discovery process on this was to look at what other agencies in the area are doing for fee schedules to try to mirror what they're doing, so we're not generating new fees that others in the area aren't paying, and then also match our fees as close to that and what our actual costs to perform the services are in that process. One of the biggest ones that's in here is the reinspection first and second attempt fees. In the past, we would just keep coming out over and over again. We were incurring sometimes 7, 8, 10 hours on a single inspection that was a $45 fee. And so that was causing subsidization of most businesses for that service to be taken care of. Now this will allow us to go back and say, okay, we'll come back for the same price on a second time around, and then we're actually going to increase the fee that third time around. And it's really just to incentivize those that are building the new properties to work through the process the first time and not use us as just a spot check at our expense.
Okay, great. Does anybody have questions about this fee schedule?
I'm going to show my ignorance. What is an agricultural zoning clearance?
So we've broken down, Jason would be much better at answering that one. He goes to all of the meetings on that specifically. But basically anything that we do, I think that moves from agricultural into other areas, specifically residential, that's where we do a separate clearance for that because it takes into account all of the water calculations and all of that.
Okay.
Okay.
Great, thank you. Okay, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak to these fees? Please approach us, and if you'll identify yourself.
Both of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can both speak.
Yes, David has a lot to say, you can see. So, forgive me
Your
if
name?
I'm Sarah Brinton.
Okay, thank you.
And if I'm understanding correctly, this is the last public hearing about the Cache County budget for 2026, is
No.
that correct? It's not?
This is not,
That's coming up.
this is
This
just
is just a fee schedule?
Fee schedule regarding the
So let
fire.
me talk next.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is just a fee schedule for fire.
later, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. All right, is there anyone from the public, anyone else that would like to speak to this fee schedule? Okay,
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we close the public hearing. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we have a resolution opening and amending the Cache County 2026 budget, the second amendment. And before, we'll have our auditor come and talk to us about that, and then we'll open it to the public. Mark, it's too cold.
Too cold? Says who?
Me.
Just a little bit.
All right.
We're adjusting the temperature a little bit.
Council members, I'm Matthew Funk, the Cache County Auditor. Before you today is Resolution 2026-10, a resolution to open the Cache County budget for the second time. Just briefly, I would note that statutorily we open the budget once a quarter, and this would be the regular budget opening for the first quarter.
Okay. Do you want to go through the budget amendments or just?
I would say let's have the public hearing, and then we'll maybe.
And then we can ask you the questions later?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I got a list too.
Okay. All right, now is the time for the public hearing on the budget opening.
Sorry, I was out in the hall, so I couldn't tell which number we were on.
That's okay.
I'm Sarah Brinton, and I'm back with David. I'm here to just put one more plug in about the Cache County Library. I have a few points to make, and I'd just like to share them with this council and hope that you'll take a little bit of consideration for what we have to say. One thing that I'm concerned about is the questions have still not been answered yet regarding like what the funds currently allocated for the library will be put toward instead, especially considering that, you know, it's less than 1% of the budget. The $250,000 to run it is less than 1% of the budget. So it feels like a drop in the bucket to those of us who are really hoping to keep the library as it is. I'm also curious about the current library board is like pushing this solution of asking cities to take over the cost of running the library without encouraging any other options. And despite kind of unclear messaging, the county, it appears, really does have the funds to keep the library operating. And the return of investment of the average library in Utah in 2019 was $7.09 for every dollar spent on funding libraries. So if it's about money, we really can make a return. Also, it seems like the point that gets brought up a lot is the double taxation argument. And it doesn't really feel relevant or accurate because city taxes funding private libraries are paying for separate and additional library services from the county library that also gives library access for their neighbors, the entire county. So this was voted on and approved by each city despite the county already funding the county library, so nothing is really being paid for twice. And so, anyway, according to that rationale, asking some cities to raise taxes to cover the cost of the library will actually create the double taxation. So that doesn't really make sense to me or young David. Removing library services has been proven to decrease public safety and could incur more costs, higher costs for the public, those sorts of things. Rural, isolated areas are at high risk for higher crimes. And these are the same communities that will be cut off from the free service. So the possibility of having a real countywide library system for Cache County is kind of, I think, the goal of a lot of people. And I know that that's a far out reaching goal, but it's still possible and it's being sort of planned for behind doors by library directors, but removing this county library will leave many communities without services, you know, until that's achieved, which we don't know if or when that will happen. And so I guess my proposal is to consider this 1% and if it's really necessary to close down the library as it stands, because it has had actually a lot more engagement. We've seen a lot more support for the library this year. And I'll just leave you with one sort of bit of wisdom that a professor shared with me a long time ago, which is, imagine Cache County is a big family, and this council is a family council. And all of you here are hopefully listening, and hopefully considering everyone else's ideas. And it might be that superior support of a mediocre idea is better than mediocre support of a superior idea. And it feels like ever since this conversation has come up, that the council thinks, okay, we have this superior idea, get rid of that library, and that's our idea. When the public has come back again and again, and we're like, we like our idea, we like our library, and we hope that you'll consider extending the budget for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is there anyone else that would like to, from the public, that would like to speak to our budget opening? Okay, we will. Oh.
I don't actually really want to talk, that's not my cup of tea.
And I didn't say this earlier, but we probably need to keep comments to 2 to 3 minutes at the most, so that we can.
Okay.
But,
My name is Callie Ball, and I am also here to lend my support to the Cache County Library. I've been a teacher in the Valley. I currently work for Utah State University, still in education, and I visit a lot of classrooms around the Valley, and I see kids that are learning to read and learning all the things that they get to learn. And I know that libraries, sorry, I don't want to cry. Libraries are important to this process. And I find it really concerning that we're thinking about taking books away from children to save half of a percent of our budget. Like, that is really disturbing to me. And I would just encourage you to think about the library as more than a collection of books. It's a source of knowledge, it's a source of learning, it's a source of community, it provides economic benefits like the previous person mentioned. There's so much that can benefit us because of the existence of a library in our community. I am from Providence, and so I am part of the county that would lose services to public libraries if this library were to shut down. So it's especially concerning to me. My children are mostly grown now, but they grew up reading books from the Cache County Library. And we would go there every week and we would check out their books, and they were things that I couldn't afford to buy. And I know that there's lots of families like that are so grateful that there's books and activities available for their children, because you can't buy a whole series of books just because your kid is all of a sudden interested in them. Obviously, with my kids grown, our library usage has changed a lot. I still use the library heavily. I mostly check out digital books because it's just me and that's easier. But I would also like to advocate for all of the families in my neighborhood, in my community, across the county that will continue to benefit from access to this library. And I would say that not only do we need to continue to support it and fund it, that maybe we should look at increasing it and providing more resources to people across the valley. And that's all. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone else? Yes. And if it's about the library, can you keep it relevant and 2 minutes?
I don't think I can speak about this without being emotional. My name is Jamie Gunderson. I live in Smithfield. I grew up in a home that had no books. My parents did not read. They did cocaine. Because I have the library, I do not do cocaine. And my children grew up going to the library that we're talking about. It was a significant source of education and comfort and like things to do. It kept them out of trouble. It kept me out of trouble. I would be really grateful if that library were not closed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is there anyone else that's here to speak? Okay.
I just want to express my support.
Tell us your name.
Oh, sorry. My name is Julia Justice. I'm a resident of Providence. And I want to express my support for extending funding on the library until there is a clear plan in place. I wrote a letter to the members of the council many months ago when we were debating this question initially. And I'm not sure if you remember the letter and all of the facts and details that I included in there. But in the research that I've done, discontinuing funding for the library will create the single largest service gap for library services in the state. So let me repeat that, the single largest service gap for library services in the state of Utah. I would like to ask each council member to carefully consider whether that is a legacy you want to leave for the county. I know that library services are incredibly important for many different reasons. First and foremost, in my mind, is for child literacy. I know that exposure to books, being able to take books home, read books to your children is first and foremost in the step of developing child literacy. And without the ability to do that, we are creating a huge disservice to the families in our community that cannot afford to buy a library card at a different library, many of which I know exist, many of which I know are having difficulty having enough money to provide food for their families, let alone providing money for a library card. I mentioned in my letter to you many months ago that I have a family relative named Tony Finau. You may have heard of him, you may not have heard of him. He's a professional golfer and came from a very disadvantaged background. And he told his dad that he wanted to learn how to golf. So his dad went to the public library and checked out books on how to golf. And they studied those books and they learned how to golf from those books. And from that experience, he was able to evolve his career into that of a professional golfer. Now, I know that many things have changed since then in terms of digital versus physical resources, but the idea is the same, in that we cannot, as a community, allow our disadvantaged citizens to go without the resources they need. And I just want to express my support of how important it is that we continue funding for this library until there is a concrete plan in place. As a responsible council, that is your duty. And once that plan is in place and someone else has decided to take over the library and there is a plan established for its funding, then we can move forward in that direction. But until then, in my opinion, my very firm opinion, it is the council's responsibility to ensure that that happens, that you do not leave a legacy of 30,000 people in this county without access to library services. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, is there anyone else from the public that's here to speak? Okay. Can someone move to close the public hearing?
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we close public hearing. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, but we're going to go back to our Board of Equalization.
Just the request for a
Request for authorization for the administrative correction. Oh, that's, okay. This is the RDA. If you, Diana, as you're talking, I want, Andrew, where is that in the?
06C.
06C. If you'll pull that up, you can see the exact amounts that we're talking about. It says information. Okay. You can go ahead, Diana.
Okay, so I see that we're on the agenda again for the administrative correction that was Before the council last meeting on March 24th, the authorization for the administrative correction for the 2023 tax increment distribution was approved with the stipulation that we hold the money till today, waiting for written statements from the entities to be submitted to myself in the Auditor's Tax Administration Division. So I have received some. I've received none from North Logan. I did receive an email from, and I provided copies for you. We have Cache Mosquito Abatement District saying they would like to keep theirs. I had the Hyde Park Cemetery CEO hand deliver his letter saying that they opted to elect to retain the 12th year payment. And then there's also a letter from the State Board of Education saying that they agree the funds should be fully remitted to the appropriate entities, that the state basic has to be returned, the charter levy should be remitted to the state treasurer, and that if they were to opt to sign away the local school levy, that they should proceed with caution because these funds are restricted and forgiving them may conflict with local budgetary rules and local interagency procedures. And as I say, I provided copies of all of the written documents that I received.
Okay. And I apologize that you didn't receive, there is a letter that was sent yesterday afternoon from the Cache County School District saying that they are willing to forego their $77,000. And George, I don't know if you, my email on my iPad is not working. I know that it was sent to Lindsay.
They may be willing.
No, it said they would, said they were willing to. Can you pull that up on the email? And I apologize that I didn't send that to you, Diana.
Yeah, if you could.
It was sent to
for the
George.
record, And also for McAllister's distribution.
Yes, okay. So we'll find that. So basically, in front of you all is the amounts in question. North Logan City has already received their $21,000. They received that on March 31st. Hyde Park Cemetery would like their money returned. Cache Mosquito Abatement would like their money. And then the statewide levy, that $27,000, the state needs that, and the charter levy, which is $616.
That's the school district letter.
Yes, would you hand that to Diana, please? And again, I apologize, Diana, that was not forwarded to you. It was sent to George and to me yesterday afternoon. And we should all have a copy of that, so. But that was signed by the superintendent and their,
I heard a rumor that Jared Black did not work for the school district any longer, or do you have more information on that?
I heard he was highway Logan City. I don't know if he's
Transitioning?
anyway, so those are the amounts that we need to make a decision on, what the disbursement. As far as I can see, there's no question. And I did speak to Mayor Peterson, and she understands all this and does not want to be in an adversarial relationship with the county. And she understands that it was a very unfortunate circumstance that happened, that I don't think anyone was trying to be, I'm losing my words. No one tried to be, I want to say naughty, and that's not a good word. So nobody was trying to do this unethically. It just happened, and it needs to be corrected. And so, and it's not done with any malintent. So we just need to vote on which of these checks we're going to release to these entities, and how we're going to handle that tonight, because it needs to be done tonight for our treasurer, who has already written these checks. He's just waiting to see what to do with them. So, does anyone want to speak up and say what they think?
I looked at everything, and I know that they may forego that, but it's my impression from the letters from the state. I'm just shocked that I don't want to get in between the state education and then local, you know, as far as those restricted funds.
Well,
Uh, You know, that's, you know what I'm saying? I just don't wanna be that in between. And I therefore, I would say that we, go ahead and, approve the, authorization to correct the tax increment distribution error, fully. And then let the entities pursue it after that.
Is that a motion?
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Okay, I've got a motion and a second. Is there further discussion? I would like to
Can we
discuss that
clarify
further.
that?
Yes,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, Dave, I guess I
Well,
didn't.
no, I just don't,
understand
it
how
seems to me like this last minute letter here that they would forego it. But if you read, I read other
Well,
stuff from the state.
the state says they can choose to do that. There may be some restrictions, but it says they are allowed to do that.
But I don't want,
But
they,
if there's a problem, they'll have to deal with it. Like, that's how I feel. They've said they would forego it. I don't know.
And all of
but do we
the
as a county
liabilities
want
placed
get
on
bet-
them?
Do we as a county want to get between those restrictions? I think that restricted use is something that's between the school district and the state for them to, work out.
And they'll have to.
Yeah, so I don't know whether we just want to hold those funds until, you know, I just say, hey, go ahead, release it,
You've been holding them long enough.
yeah. And then let the school district do what they, I don't know, let them work it out a different way. But it basically frees up what we needed to do.
So my question is we got the cash mosquito abatement, who's elected to keep their part, right? And the other one,
Hyde Park Cemetery is elected to keep theirs.
and I'm sitting here saying, anybody would elect to keep their money, but is it the right thing to do based on where we're sitting here right now?
Yes, they would have to elect to forego their money for us to not give it to them. And no one has done that except Cache County School District, and they have elected to forego their $77,000.
And that came from the superintendent?
Yes, Tim McKee signed it.
Okay. Was, to me, the
Business administrator and the
purse strings-
superintendent, but not the school board.
That's what bothers me, is the purse strings of the budget and everything, again, are the Cache County School District Board. That letter should have come somehow from them, or, you know, through their approval that it was brought in a public meeting and it was done right, and to where they, rather than just the superintendent signing off saying, yeah, we'll forego it. I worry about a mess there.
I think they felt like their records all indicated that it was a 12-year. They were not expecting the money. I still think we should not give that. I think we should withhold that and give it back to, yes, George.
The school district has spoken what their intent is, and it's clear what they said in the letter. David, is the school district board leadership and the district administration do not want to claw back the money. That's what their letter has told us. I think the issue for us to decide is we also have a share of that money, and we have to decide whether we want to retain that money or not. That's our decision, but the school has made their decision, and so have each one of these other entities, which I don't think we should interfere with anybody's decisions here. But we have to make our own decision with respect to our county portion of this money.
Yeah, and my motion is that everyone gets their money.
Okay, I've had a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
I think it sounds like there's differing opinions of where we're at on this whole thing. I don't know if there's just remind me if there is a firm deadline. This decision must be made today, or is it just a matter of holding the check for another week?
State law is all money is distributed by the 31st.
Of March.
We're past that deadline.
Yeah, we're past the deadline.
Passed the motion last.
Sure, I understand all that. So consequence, if we go another week, is what?
Why don't distribute it to the entities and they can get it between, if we include the letter.
Yep.
And then the school district can make a donation.
Is it truly that simple? Because that's.
I think it is. I think it is.
I don't know if there'll be legalities.
Let me finish my train of thought. If it's that simple, then why didn't we just do that from the beginning.
There was just a question from North Logan City about how much of the funds they would receive.
Well, I understand that, that's
Yeah,
not
and they-
changed with any of this. I'm
No,
saying if
but-
it's really that easy, then why did we have to do anything other than say, well, we'll call back our part, everybody else figure out their own?
Because you decided to do that last week.
I know, that's what I'm saying, Craig, is why did we decide to do that if it's that easy that we can just do it like this tonight? So is it truly this easy?
I don't know the legalities if that check is sent to the school district rather than North Logan. Like, I just don't know, and they have said they would forego the money. But I have a motion and a second that we send all the money as it's outlined to us from that check. Any further discussion before we take a vote? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay.
Nay.
So it's 3-3, so it fails, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so,
So what happens?
so now what do we do?
Where is Keegan when you need him?
I know, we need our we need our seventh member. I think that I think really
If I may, I thought we were
Please.
just deciding on what we're doing with our money.
well,
So
no,
is that-
we were waiting to hear from the school district. That was kind of the implication, that
And
we
they
would
told us
wait.
what to do with it. Just
And they've told us
is
what
there
they want.
like is there any indemnification there? Like they've given us instructions of what to do with it. Like
So correct me if I'm wrong, any other parliamentarian in the room, but the motion failed, that doesn't mean we can't make another motion.
Yes.
yeah, could the
So Craig, basically, if we exclude then the school district's dollars?
The local,
I just changed the check.
Give it to North Logan, right?
Yeah, we'll just go to North Logan, that percentage, and include the weather.
the 50 the
77.
the 77.
Finding that's on that check, it's not that I'm necessarily fearful about it, I'd have a letter. But
It's the hiring of a whole teacher,
Yeah.
and they're willing to forego that. I just am shocked, so.
Yes, George.
I would like to address the county's portion of the money. if
The
that's
22,000?
On the floor.
I think everyone's pretty clear on that, but I don't know.
We want that.
Yeah.
$22,077.92 is the county's share, and on the 24th, you did not vote on whether you would elect to forego it, or if you would retain what was rightfully
Claw back.
ours.
Regardless of what you do, the parties who have come and written correspondence saying they want their money, there shouldn't be any question about giving them their money.
Yes.
Apparently, there's a disagreement about the school board. But there is another party involved, and that's the county themselves. I don't disagree that there is an error here and that we're entitled to keep the $23,000 that the county money. We have not waived that in any form. But I would bring up with you some of my own accounting, trying to balance credits and debits with these cities. And I just have to tell you that we are so far out of track with how we debit and provide services. For example, and this is just North Logan, there are a bunch of other cities here. I've been tracking how much money has been coming from them and how much money's been going back in terms of the fire district. This year, previous year, we've been collecting approximately $400,000 a year from North Logan City alone. And we have not been providing any measurable fire service back to them for that money. None. So that's just one city, and we're talking about $23,000. During the term that this $23,000, this 11 years, we've every year been collecting $400,000, $370,000, those kind of dollars from North Logan City for fire and not providing any fire services back. We've been doing the same thing with other cities. We have serious problems with how we have allocated money and services. I don't want to grind to fine here over $23,000 in North Logan City. But my advice is, we have the right to keep it. I think I'd let this one go and not open Pandora's box in terms of balancing our books with the cities.
Okay, and I have to push back just a tiny bit on that, and nowhere near the $400,000, but there are things that the county fire does that benefits the whole county, and that it's maybe not quantifiable, but it's not nothing.
It's not nothing.
Yes.
I agree with you
Yeah,
about that.
I don't want to put that on the record, because it's not nothing. Okay, so
You want me to take another motion?
I'm ready for another motion.
I guess I would move then with the, that we would then,
Here, do you want to look at this?
well, that we would then go ahead and pass the request for authorization to correct the tax increment distribution error and collect everything and distribute everything except for Cache County School District.
Local, do you want to specify
North
that that's the
Logan
local
cities
level?
for the local level.
Local levy.
Yeah, local levy.
Not the state or the charter.
Not the state
Yeah.
and charter.
Just
but
the 77.
Cache County School District, and then North Logan's goes to them, all others will be retained, so.
Including the county?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, there's a
Because I don't, and go ahead and like yours a second, then I'll say something.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Does everyone understand the motion?
I'd second the motion.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Make sure everyone knows what we're voting on. We're gonna distribute all of this money where it belongs, except for the distribution for Cache County School District, $77,092.60 will go back to North Logan. They've already received their $21,000. That was given to them on March 31st,
Following the instructions of that letter.
following the instructions of the letter. Okay, I've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the motion passes. Thank you all. That was, and Diana, thank you for, I just.
Thank you.
No, thank you for all your work on that. I know that you have put in countless hours and research to figure this out, and it, like I said, it was unfortunate that it happened the way it did. It's not anybody's fault, but we've done our best to make it right, and the school district, I guess, is okay, so we'll move on from that. Craig, are you clear?
I'll just give that letter.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Do you
Right.
have a motion to open Board of Equalization
I
for our
move
next?
to
Yep.
enter into Board of Equalization.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we enter Board of Equalization to discuss the exclusive use property tax exemptions. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, we have before you the final exemptions for 2026. So these are all of the entities that actually had hearings that were attended by Auditor's Office through Tax Admin, Dave and Cindy, and then, of course, the entities. So if I could say, if we look at the three medical ones first.
Okay.
IHC, and they have an extensive Schedule A in your packet where much of it is taxable because it is rented to, say, doctors. That is disclosed and vetted through my office and through the assessor's office. And so we recommend that with IHC, that they are approved, you know, based on that Schedule A, with adjustments for space that are used by their tenants conducting for-profit activities on the hospital campus, and also vacant space is taxable, which is not being used exclusively for their charitable purpose.
And they more than make up for their tax.
Along with all of the personal property is what the recommendation is for.
Yep.
On IHC. And then if you want, we want to move to Sunshine Terrace Foundation. a delightful visit for me to the Sunshine Terrace, and all of their property is used 100% for their charitable purpose. So that is the recommendation, all real and personal property to be exempted from taxation.
Okay.
The last medical is Health West, and they've really changed their business models since buying it from the Cache Valley Community Health Center. There is quite a bit of vacant space and rental. They still are providing medical and pharmacy at the Providence location. The North Logan facility is 100%, but the Providence one is the one where we have to make an adjustment for their tenants and their vacant space. So our recommendation is 19.22% on that square footage for the Providence and 100% on the North Logan. So did you want to make a motion on the medical separate, or do you want to just move right on into the Utah Festival Opera?
I would so move that we accept Health West, IHC, and Sunshine Terrace's charity medical applications.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve these 3 health medical applications that we've received. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? They were wonderful visits. They really were doing good things for our community.
They
Okay.
do, so, and they really all proved that their charitable gift to the community far exceeded their tax liability. So that's always nice to see. And so then moving on to Utah Festival Opera, this was the first year that we called for a hearing because tax admin discovered there was rental income. And so then, you know, we had to vet that to see if it was for-profit, if it was nonprofit usage. But with the information that we did acquire from them, our recommendation is for them to be 98.22% exempt. And that was based on their income minus the sale of those apartments, because that has nothing to do with their operating income. So it was basically operating income and the for-profit rental income that brought us to that 98.22%. That is our recommendation tonight.
I move to approve the recommendation presented by the staff on the Utah Festival Opera Company.
Second that.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the Utah Festival Opera's property tax exemption. Is there any further discussion?
I think that the visit that we had with the Utah Festival Opera, I thought was really an amazing visit. I think it helped everybody. And the education that went on as we talked through things and everything. First, there was a little bit of misunderstanding or something like that, but I tell you, when we talked through it all and everything, I know they were extremely helped and to sharpen a lot of their books and what they need to do, and I thought it was very helpful for them, especially.
I thought they easily could have entertained us for 2 hours.
Yeah.
They were sad to see us go.
But it was positive. It was really
Yeah.
a positive, and it was as much educational. It was in fact finding, and I thought it worked out really, really good to help everybody.
Now that I've got the votes that I need, shall we close?
We haven't voted yet. There was a motion and a second. Anybody else want to make any further discussion? Okay, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Thank you, Sandy and Dave, for your extra work you did on-site visits. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Diane. We need to move to close Board of Equalization.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we close Board of Equalization. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right, proposals for consideration of action, and these are initial proposals. Let's start with the first one, the Dutson rezone. You guys want to open to, Brian, you might want to come in case we have questions for you, but we'll mostly discuss this among ourselves. Okay.
The only question I had, Brian, was Newton's, what was, what was really Newton's, I guess they're against it, what are they?
Yeah,
On what basis?
There was a letter.
There's a letter, but it doesn't really say much.
They don't think the road is
Adequate or?
adequate, but as far as county roads go, I've seen a lot worse than that one.
Still pretty good.
Yeah, I was just out there today, drove out there, took a look. Just straight south is the city border, and there's a brand-new subdivision with 10, 12 lots for sale, so it's not like it's gonna be out of place. They'll have to fix the shoulders, they're substandard, they'll fix those. as
Was
part of-
water an issue that they brought up at all? Okay.
They did mention that in their letter, didn't they? Yeah, they did.
I think it was slightly though.
Yeah, but,
Seemed like it was mostly the looks that they didn't like.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say I'm glad a city responded. You sit in planning and zoning, and many cities don't, so they did. I don't want to tear them down for that, but
Yeah, they said the wells on the northwest side of Bear River.
But I called Connor today and asked him in the planning and zoning about the roads, and the staff had looked at that and said the same thing, the shoulder, but
Yeah, that could be true for every road we've got.
a lot of that happens, so. Even when you get a good shoulder on there, it can wear down, so.
So does someone want to make a motion on that? Do you want to keep talking about it? Tell me where you want to go with
I would
this rezone.
move that we waive the rules and we support planning and zoning in their action and approve the Dutson rezone.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve ordinance 2026-14, the Dutson 2 rezone. Is there any further discussion? Okay, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Okay, ordinance 2026-15, the 40-acre industrial zone. That one, the planning commission voted 6-0 for denial.
I do have a question.
Okay?
At one point, it says here that it was a gas station proposal is being reviewed on the parcel.
That's, the parcel, just adjacent to it that's in Amalga City.
Yeah, it's within the city.
That's within the city.
Oh, an adjacent parcel.
Yeah.
Ah, gotcha. Not this. Okay.
The parcel.
Not this parcel. Okay.
So what do they plan to do with it?
You know what, we can't,
Yeah,
hang on.
are you talking about the city parcel or the?
The 40 acres?
Yeah, there'll be not a storage shed, but more like a place that has storage with an office so that they can run a business out of that. Garage doors, maybe a small fabrication shop, just some shop space with some office space.
Industrial park.
I kind of feel like like some of the last time we had looked at an industrial zone. I don't think it fits there. The nearest industrial zone is 3.5 miles away. And that, to me, industrial is one of those things that can get out of hand once you rezone it. Anyway, I would take a motion on this one.
Problem with this one is that it's not really good for farming.
And across the street, being used as an industrial purpose too. They're using it as a waste plant.
I'm really sorry, but procedures that you can't speak during this, unless we address you, I don't want to be rude at all, because, yeah, that happens during the public hearing, and then.
An industrial zone right there in that area, I would think very differently. If Amalga would annex
Why is
it,
this
bring
not
it in,
being
and they control that, within their area, but,
I talked to the mayor today, or yesterday about that. It's just, the town's not ready to do that yet.
and we would, as far as, it's probably real expensive then to start providing services.
Yeah.
When it's annexed, it could be quite costly, but the other thing is, within the county and within that area, sitting out there, an industrial zone,
Without
we can
services.
we can say right now, this is what I plan to do, but an industrial park could lend itself to several other things. It could,
Well, plus there's no,
could
there's no
change.
services to it,
Right.
so it's like
And it's
wells
its own
and
world.
septic.
I just don't think it really fits with that area at all. And therefore, I would move that we also support our Planning and Zoning Commission and deny the 40-acre industrial rezone, which is, what's the number on that one?
2026-15.
I guess you have to waive the rules, right?
Yep.
Waive the rules and then, and deny the 26-15 40-acre industrial rezone.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Me.
Okay. All right. C, ordinance 2026-17, amendment to the Cache County Code Titles 16 and 17, the recodification. That one was pretty simple. That was one Andrew talked about. It's just basically redoing the numbers. Oh, no, Brian, anyway. Brian talked about that, but it was all numbering.
I move to suspend the rules to approve ordinance 2026-17, amendment to the Cache County Code Titles 16 and 17.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we suspend the rules and approve ordinance 2026-17. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, 2026-18, the consolidated fee schedule. That's the one Andrew talked
The
about.
911 services.
The 911 fee, yep.
We already agreed to this.
We already
I think
agreed to
we're
it,
kind
yeah.
of bound to
And
it.
it's 10 cents, so, okay, I'd take a motion on that one.
I will waive the rules and approve and recommend approval to ordinance 2026-18, amending the Cache County Consolidated Fee Schedule.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we waive the rules and approve ordinance 2026-18. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, 2026-19, the Cache County Consolidated Fee to the fire and EMS.
I would make a motion, we waive the rules and approve ordinance 2026-19, amending the Cache County Consolidated Fee Schedule to amend fee assessment related to county fire and EMS services.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve ordinance 2026-19. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, let's move on to our budget opening. Hooray.
Let's move that to the next meeting.
No. Wait, no.
I know.
Bite your tongue. Okay, I don't know how, if you, like, we went through all of these in appropriation meeting, but I don't know how much you guys want to talk about the details. I'm sorry that the people that spoke about the library left, because there's funding in here to enhance the
Continue
library funding to
services through the
continue.
year.
Yeah, so, I'm sad that they left. I didn't see them leave. I should probably have told them that we're gonna be discussing it later, and, anyway.
The proposal was given to us by the librarian.
Yes. Yeah, we received a proposal from the librarian. We agreed that we would give an extra 20, she amended her budget and said that if she had an extra $20,000 to add to the 6 months funding that we already gave her, that she could stretch it out to the end of December. And we voted in appropriations to recommend that, and so that's in your packet.
But this
I have a suggestion.
This is quite a bit more, isn't it?
No, it's really not. It just reworks the whole budget, but it really only adds that $20,000. Right, Matt? That's. Okay. What other things? There were,
Get her
Matt,
attention.
there was a question about the, oh, Joanne, sorry, I'm sorry.
That's
Please,
okay.
Just throw something at me.
Well, I went through these increases. I maybe didn't get all of them, but, you know, I just feel bad that we have increased the property taxes by 18%. And how much would this hurt them, even like the library, to reduce that 20,000 by 18%, or maybe others to accommodate it? Because I don't know, that 18%, I mean, even with these fees that we voted to increase, you know, that all adds up. That's like increased taxes.
The fees that we increased are the use fees. Those that got those services are the ones that are gonna be paying those.
Yeah, that is the nice
So
thing
that's not
about
on the
those.
general population. Those are those that are receiving those services are the ones paying them.
We can, if we want, we can go through them a little bit one at a time. Some of the increases are things that, like there was a piece of road equipment that was ordered and it's been on back order for 2 years and now the price has gone up and they still need the equipment.
Right.
I mean, we, as an appropriations committee, we did not see anything. The only one that I remembered questioning, there was a couple, but the one that I remembered was the Public Works was asking for a new employee to clean, a full-time employee to do cleaning at the Public Works building, and I believe that's gone, that they, I don't see that in.
Appropriations voted not to approve that.
Okay.
I think they're gonna come back in June again with a better explanation, so.
Matt Phillips did talk to me about it and says he couldn't be here tonight, but he had thought he had gone through that and done a pretty good job of what was needed there based on the contract. And so he says, I guess I just need to explain it better. He says, this will make it better. And he did say that that person would not be just for the Hiram building, that it would be able to work around in different areas.
Yeah, I think the question in appropriations, they had been paying a contract for $44,000 a year, and now they're adding, they want to replace that with a full-time employee that, he just needs to talk to us about it a little bit more and
Because
explain.
he says that would cut the cost because that person would be floating around to other areas, so.
Okay, yeah, we'll.
Not putting words in his mouth, but that's what he spoke
That's
to me
what he
about.
talked to me about too. And he even said, when I talked to him, that he may even be able to get by with a part-time and not make it a full-time person. But he does need somebody that's not just a contract cleaning with a cleaning service. He wants somebody that they can have move around and help out. And so I'm sure that'll come back.
So is it out of here now?
It's not in here at all.
Okay.
It'll
so
come
then
back in the
we
next
can
budget opening.
Talk about it another time.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's any other specifics that anyone saw in here. I know Dave has some questions, so why don't you start, go right in.
Okay, well, first of all, I just gotta, if you could just kind of give me some clarity. I pretty well understand a lot of it, but, okay, when things are taken out of fund balance, okay, the fund balance is what to the county?
It's the equity that we've built up over time.
Okay, they kind of our savings.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their savings that we, that's that portion that we rely on, and we have not been filling that. We've been taking from that for the past several years, right?
In the general fund, yes.
In the general fund, okay. And the reauthorizations, these are basically things that are coming in from previous budgets, from, could be 1 or 2, 3 years ago, whatever. It's coming through now, it's being reauthorized to be used, right?
Right, so if we did a $3 million road project and authorized that 2 years ago, but we just haven't finished it all up yet, and we still have a little more to go, we have to reauthorize that spending.
Okay. And then the last question I had, and I love, y'all watched this video, didn't you? If you didn't watch his video, you ought to go on the circuit. It's really good. His little video on his explanation on how to find that. I never did, by the way. I never did find that to where you could go and click on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I never did find that, but I was able to go find everything down below, and it worked out great. And it was good to have a little bit of understanding. Say in numbers so and so through here, this is what they do, and it sped up some reading because that gave me a lot of understanding. But there is one comment in one of those letters of their reasoning for that money, and they talked about backfilling. What are they doing when they are backfilling a budget?
Do you recall which?
Which memo it is?
It came out of the sheriff's, and I just wondering what is it? It was very sheriff specific on a thing. It was this money that they were wanting to backfill a fund.
I think I know what that is.
And I just.
There were a lot of moving parts.
Term that I've heard, but I've always heard it, basically you're trying to bury something.
There were a lot of moving parts in 2025, and the sheriff's department spent all of their budget for vehicle upgrades. And then they placed an additional order with that vendor that they didn't have the budget for. And I believe what you're referring to is they need to get square with that vendor. We owe that guy $19,350.
That was with the explanation.
Yes.
Is that for the lights that we talked about?
Yeah, the upgrade.
Upgrading it,
Because we buy those
we got
cars,
the
we buy 'em
equipment,
stock.
but now we've got to get
Making it
the
a police car.
police car.
Okay. And I'm not saying, but it's just, so is that common? Do we like overspend budget, or is
No,
it?
actually.
It's just a matter of
And so-
taking it from one area in the same budget and then backfilling it?
So what happened is we got the invoice from the vendor. The vendor was slow to get us the invoice. It was February before we got the invoice. And the analysts wanted to go ahead and pay that. And I said, no, you can't. It has not been authorized. We don't have money. And so the vendor has been waiting, actually, I think since November. So they're going on 6 months waiting to get paid. But until and unless the council authorizes that, you know, and the takeaway, obviously, and this lesson I think has been learned by that department, is they need to track those dollars more carefully, because if they overspend, they've
I want
overspent.
everyone to be listening to this, because I think this is very valuable. And yeah,
that's-
I've been on the council for, I'm approaching my 12th year, and we're seeing people now within our system that are doing very good in saying, hey, no, there's no budget. We've got to correct that before something's done. And some of those, I think, were just done.
I think in the past they were,
But
and this
when
isn't
the
the
door was
only.
closed.
This exactly, and the sheriff's isn't the only case where that's happened. I think at Senior Center, Council for Aging, we had promised we'd sign a contract with the vendor to pay them, but you haven't authorized it.
Right. But I appreciate this, and that's why, as I'm understanding all these things, and I'm able to, with your explanation, I jump around, and it brings a lot of clarity, but I think it is huge in where we've come to.
Well, and
Our policy has put in the appropriate guardrails to
Yeah.
encourage to lead to this point.
I wanna, commend you, but I also wanna commend, the work from a county council that's seen that, and we're getting the corrections that we need, and that we're just to stay on top of things. And I appreciate that. I did have a couple of questions on number 20. It said UAC fees, are they departmentalized?
Yes, they are. And I have recommended that they stop being, that was done by our previous finance director.
Right.
And I think it should just be one bill that comes to the county. It's paid out of the non-governmental, and that's what.
I think.
I feel the same way.
So if you guys all feel that,
One
then we
lump
can give that
payment.
direction.
Maybe this next year, we'll just look at that and see if we can somehow bring that into where, it's basically one fee from the county, it covers all departments.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not,
Yeah,
it's
across
been split
the
up by
board.
elected
That-
official. and
Yeah,
it's
Okay.
that's
ridiculous.
not necessary.
I know we've talked about that at other times, but let's just kind of keep that in the forefront.
Yep.
What fund would that be?
That's general fund dollars.
Just call it a general fund.
In the past, I believe it had come off of the councils specifically.
And it could, if you want to put that in the council, and it basically covers all
Everybody,
departments
it's
within
just
the
wherever
county.
we budget it.
You know,
When are we gonna buy that?
we can do that.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Wherever
I
we
just think
budget.
it ought to be, I just don't think that every department needs to worry about, we gotta pay the UAC, no, that's just something that we legislated to do, and so I think it's that important that, it's just one fund, but that's minor.
Do
And it
they
will-
break the fee down by department? They don't, do they?
They don't, we did, our finance
I mean,
director
how
did,
would you break it down?
by elected official. He just split it by elected official.
Because
Yeah, that's right.
each office
Yeah, and I
can be
will.
a member, chooses to be a member.
And I think we do this, so it'll really just
Just to
simplify
make it
things.
simple. But I want to make one plug, because I am on the UAC Executive Committee, and they have not raised their dues in 5 years, 6 years.
Yep.
They've kept it steady, so that, we should be grateful for that, and they do a lot for us. I think so, yeah. I mean, they're increasing their funding sources quite heavily so that they don't have to increase our dues, so.
Yeah, their sponsor list has exploded.
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
And, which is helping everybody.
And it's good for us.
Pretty neat, so. Number 23. I want some understanding on that. Was this included in the original budget?
You remember the
Yes.
feasibility study that you authorized a year or two ago? You authorized it and the contract was signed, but for whatever reason, you never appropriated this last $7,900.
Okay.
Well, they got a CIB grant that should have covered all of it.
Yes, but that having been said, you still have
Yes,
to.
it's covered by a grant.
Okay.
That one, that's not extra money coming out of our fund, it's not coming out of our general fund, even though it says fund balance, but it was replaced with
Well,
a
it says
grant from the
Council on
CIB.
Aging, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just,
So it's been
you know, these,
Yeah.
I tell you, we can really,
It's on fund.
we can actually hunt feasibility studies until we're broke. So, you know. it's-
This one's important.
It's something everything's important. Okay.
This one's very important.
No, everything's important. So, number 24, let's see.
The COG request to use their interest.
Yeah, oh, now on that, they're wanting all the interest, right?
That they have earned on their funds.
That they've ended on that COG monies, right? They want that to stay everything, no administration type things for us to be able to.
That's correct. They get those interest, all that interest. They're very diligent about making sure.
Is that just
and I
getting
understand.
put into their award balance for this?
It goes to their fund balance.
Yeah, their fund balance, okay.
Okay, as efforts increase in, I know Jeff does a really good job, but, you know, as efforts increase to keep track of all that kind of stuff, we really ought to maybe look at it a little bit harder, but, let's just be happy, let's just make the cities happy, okay?
Right.
Yeah, okay, and, 33, that was the other one I had I want an explanation on.
The county had budgeted for a project that we did not get the COG award for.
Okay,
And so we need to reverse out that budget.
and so that's actually coming back in then?
It's coming back in.
That's, okay, that's.
Yeah.
you know,
Back into municipal services, a lot
I
of it.
tried digging through that and the back and forth and the back and forth, and I go, okay, now which rabbit hole did it get down? You know, but that's all coming back. I appreciate the explanations and some understanding there, and, that's the only questions right now that I have.
Okay, and I want to Joanne's point too, that, you know, we worked so hard on the budget, we cut it, we tied it up with a bow, we did our best, and we still had to raise taxes, and now here we're appropriating another $400,000. And at some point, it's, you know, it all seems very necessary, everybody has needs, but at some point, we might just have to say no, like, it's really hard for me to appropriate another $400,000.
Well, it's because you see the need for it, like the library.
Yeah, I mean,
Obviously, it's needed, it's something we want.
Yes.
But we can't afford it. In certain cases, I'm not saying that specifically.
Yeah.
But.
And that's how, and that's hard, those are hard decisions to make, and so I'm hoping that as we keep working to limit our budget and to tighten things up and do the best that we can, that these appropriation requests, these budget openings will become less and less.
So April, May, June, the next one
The next
we
one's in
have.
June.
Less than 61 days away.
Yeah, this one we would have done last time, but we didn't do we didn't notice the public hearing the time before, so this one should have been 3 weeks ago. So we're a little bit moving into the next budget opening, and Matt, you do such a good job of explaining things and helping us work through this, so thank you.
On number 25, I had one question. I believe Providence is actually, did I hear that they're proposing an increase to fund the library?
If they
Increase
do.
in
Putting
taxes?
they put
a ballot,
poll out to their
yeah,
residents.
Okay.
a ballot
to
initiative on
get
there.
a feel for the appetite for whether or not the citizens would vote for a specific tax increase for library funding.
Okay.
But I think this is one question we can ask ourselves on these things that we can't afford if we have to cut back. Is that the role of government in the first place, like the library? Where in the Constitution does it say, you know?
Yeah, and I think through this whole process, we've all been committed to helping to ensure that everyone in the county has a library available to them. It just needs to be paid for equitably, and we're coming up with some different ideas and some different programs. And I'll just say, because I've said this many times before, I think it's just tragic that we don't have a countywide library system, but the voters voted that down in 2010. And if someone was gonna try and pull that back together, now that there's so much money has been spent on city libraries, it would be even more difficult, but I think, it would be wonderful to have a proposition that would make sense to everybody and make that work, because I think that would be, among other things we should be doing countywide, and that's how I feel about it, but.
And we need to commend those cities that have
Yes,
stepped up.
they've spent a lot of money
Yeah,
on their
and,
libraries.
You know, and said, you know what, it is important to our city. Like, you have to, I think it's wonderful that a lot of those cities, even the smaller cities, that they still have a functioning library. Volunteerism is still strong in some of those cities, and they are, they're willing to do it. And so I think that role of the city is very, very different than that of the county in that aspect. So
I agree.
I kind of wish that every city would grab that and embrace that, even from city to city.
And I think when this is all settled, hopefully we can still make sure that everyone in the unincorporated parts of the county and that we still provide that service, because I think it's important. Anyway.
I have another question.
Okay.
Now, this is, the summary at the end, so it might be different than what you guys are talking about, but it had 35,000 there for the elections. Is that true? You asked for an increase of 35,000? Or is that kind of a bookkeeping deal?
It might be, Joanne, at the end.
The summer.
Which line are you asking about, Joanne?
Some things that there was a
PO. Right down, it's almost the very end. It just said increases, it listed the elections.
The council approved for a new machine and also came with 4 years of software. So each year, you're gonna see that 35,000 be in that line item to pay for that software.
Agilis software.
Yeah.
Number 66.
Yeah.
66.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm ready to take a motion unless anyone has any other questions for Matt or for those of us, Catherine and Nolan and I are on the Appropriations Committee and.
Is this the initial reading?
Process.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the initial reading, but like I said, we're 3 weeks late. If anyone wants to keep asking questions and digging, we can hold it off for another meeting. We meet again in 1 week. But if anyone wants to make a motion, I would entertain a motion.
I will proceed, waive the rules, and make a motion that we approve Resolution 2026-10 on the opening and amending the Cass County 2026 budget.
We don't have to amend the rules because it's a resolution, right?
True.
I'm learning.
Look
I know
at
I
you.
made
You
that
were so
mistake.
excited
I was so
to do
excited
that.
because I got it right once.
I'll second that.
Okay, sorry. It's been moved and seconded that we approve Resolution 2026-10, opening the county budget. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, moving on. Okay, the resolution 2026-12, making appointments to the Millville Nibley Cornish Cemetery Maintenance District Board vacancy.
You know, people are just dying to get on this board.
I know.
I know, I was waiting for that one.
Okay, where did I write down?
You've been here too long now.
Yeah, I know.
Get lost. We only had one applicant that actually showed up. That would be my vote. But I'm waiting for a motion.
I move,
I would hope, I'm gonna wait
Yeah.
till that comes from that area.
I move to approve Mr. Kim Ashcroft to the Millville Nibley Cemetery Maintenance District.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve Mr. Ashcroft to the Cemetery Maintenance District. Is there any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we're done with that one. All right, pending items, removal of certain Class B road segments from Cache County's Class B road system. This is one that we have put off quite a bit. I still think we're not ready to, I would propose that we table that for a minute after talking with our attorneys. There's legal issues that we're pretty sure we're right on, but there's also some PR issues with those communities that I don't think there's a huge need to push that through right now, except that we can help Mr. Hamblin to get, and I think, Andrew, if you want to, or Dane, if you want to talk to the issue of allowing him access to that road up in River Heights.
Well, so I'll just say my position remains the same, that the county's legally sound in the path we're taking. And if the council, it's more of a political decision of how the council as far as the subdivision's been approved by River Heights, where it's really a unique situation that we wouldn't have occur anywhere else in the county, where there is a annexation that takes place where there's a county road completely within a municipality, because this is the only road that is completely within a municipality. And so, if the council chooses not to move forward on this resolution, I believe it's in compliance with our roads manual, because there really is no other alternative. And really, this probably should have been something that, when the annexation was approved, that they should have taken the road. But here we are, and so this resolution passed, I'm going to express to the council that I believe next week there should be a resolution considered to allow access off that road, with the understanding that this resolution 2026-12 will pass at some point, and that road will become River Heights Road. But I don't think we should keep holding up that landowner, regardless of what the council does today.
And that's the landowner we've been talking about, who's been going back and forth with us and River Heights, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I agree, we've held him up
Way too
long.
Yeah, and so whatever we do today, I don't think the council, I think the roads manual allows for an exception if there's no other alternative to allow access. And so
I mean, we've asked that people build within city limits and everything else, and it makes sense, and here we're giving them a roadblock, so to speak. No pun intended.
I love a pun.
Does that piece of the road have to have maintenance on that piece? Or it's other parts, right?
All of it.
All of it.
All of
is
it.
in
We do
some.
maintenance on all of it. And that's kind of the question right now is, what maintenance may need to be done before we turn it over, that we have maybe deferred some maintenance that, I don't know. I don't know tell me what you guys think. I know that, we've been looking at this for a long time, but I also know that besides the development, I don't see the urgency in the road. That's, yes, Andrew?
I will note that me and the county attorney have drafted such a resolution already that could be ready for the next county council meeting, so.
To allow the
That's
access to that road. Okay, everyone else say what you think, or make a motion.
So let me get this straight. The resolution he's talking about, if we delay this till a week from tonight, then that lets that developer proceed forth. Then I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I don't need. Good.
And I'm happy just to give the road and move on. So.
I am too, and I think that's the
But
goal.
if there's some, you know, I know the road department's been out there and they resurfaced it just not very many years ago. And they've done, before all that sewer development within Millville, it's kind of changed some things, but the other parts, it was,
Well, back to
I just want them so bad to be in charge of their own area and destiny. That's, I want them to be making the decisions that we're making right now on that development, and I think that's their business.
Well, back to what the chair said, not only do we have maintenance there, but we've also got part of the road which has been dug up like crazy
That wasn't ours.
wasn't ours,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I think there's still some negotiations to be done, and I think when I talked to Matt, he said, he couldn't be here tonight, he felt really bad, he wanted to give us a report, but I think maybe he could prepare something that gives, what maintenance have we not done, that we would have done, that we received the Class B road money for, that maybe could be done, just to be a good neighbor before we give that back, and I think being a good neighbor could be.
Keep this pending till next week, we'll get more detail, I'm sure.
Okay.
Then we'll just go with that other resolution too, to keep them going.
Yeah, I do think we need to keep that landowner, the council needs at least to consider that, because we've held them up for a long time. So
Yeah.
there's going to be more discussion on this. I think we should at least have the other one on the agenda as well.
Okay. All right, other business, the lapel pin design. Andrew,
so
I
exciting.
know, I asked Andrew to do this because when I was with some other council members from, I know, not that one. I was with some other council members in Washington DC, and they had some really nice lapel pins that just said like San Juan County Commissioner. And so like, we don't have any jackets and we don't have anything that identifies us. I thought it would be nice if when we go to UAC or when we go to official things, we could wear a lapel pin that said Cache County Council. However, it's very expensive. And so Andrew is the,
Wear a jacket everywhere.
What's heard of a paper hat that says it across?
we could do a lot, we could do.
You're not helping
Make one out of
any here.
tinfoil.
I'm still gonna try and get shirts designed for the parade season, like this week. Did you guys see the design that Andrew did? There's two different designs in it. They're both very, very beautiful. The price on them would be, it would be $144 to buy 20 of them. It's more cost effective to buy more than like 7 or 8 or 9 of people that would want to wear it now, but we will have other people get elected through the years that, yes, Andrew?
An alternative could be, and I think it's always easy for me to say, another department should take care of this, but I have noticed that out of the Public Works building, they do have a somewhat reformed Cache County logo. I think that if that was
With
put...
the beaver on it?
Yeah, I think so. If you like did like a small version of that compared to what we have now,
Sorry.
you can make a lot of those, and it would be very cost effective, and you could just give those out in general, not necessarily just to council members, but that's just an idea.
How big is this one?
That is
probably the
0.75 inches. That's the size.
Oh, 6 inches?
No,
That's
just kidding.
0.75.
like wear it on my forehead.
0.75. It's like a,
I don't
Yeah,
this.
I want the big gold chain too.
a nickel? This is a nickel?
It's the size of a nickel.
Oh, it needs
I
to be
can't even
bigger than,
see.
it needs to be
bigger
this.
than a nickel.
At least a quarter.
At least it needs to be as big as that one that Dave's
If
wearing.
you put a nickel and a quarter right next to each other, they look the same size. I've done it in my office when I was
Why
making
not a
this.
50-cent piece?
Yeah, I was thinking.
If we're talking money,
Yeah.
let's go a little
That's,
bigger.
well, we want to be able to read it and see it. We're talking about. Anyway,
I don't think a 50-cent piece is obnoxious.
I don't either. I
Yeah.
think,
Okay,
There you go. It's a one-time expense.
make the decisions.
well, let's get some more information. Let's maybe make it a little bit bigger and see. Do you guys want him to pursue that? Like, is it something we would like to have to do a little of
How many more of those
being
do
proud
we
of
have?
ourselves? I'm not wearing that.
I think that
Sandy, why won't you wear it?
I think that this came out of Visitors Bureau, didn't it? Didn't they pursue this little
Yeah, why
thing
doesn't the
here?
Visitors Bureau
Probably.
do that? They've got an
I thought they gave-
unlimited
Yeah,
budget.
but I'm gonna
Their
ask Julie.
budget
I'm
is
gonna
a
ask
bottom
I think
for it.
this here is something that maybe.
Well, this is
it's
specific to the
council.
council.
Yeah.
This is for us. This is for us to
Something
just.
to
This
do
is our
to the
own
county,
logo.
you know, just make it to where everyone can think, well, it's something that said Cache County on it.
Yeah.
How about
Is there
lanyard?
anything historic that you can think of for the council?
Yeah, that's what this is.
No.
I liked it. Did you see this that Andrew
I
designed?
did see it.
Yeah, I don't like the Public Works one. That's fine on the side of a truck. I don't really want to wear it.
No.
Do the
No.
7 stars represent the 7 council persons?
They do. They do. This is Andrew designed this. This is represents us.
I like it.
I
I
really,
think it's nice.
I
I
like
do like it. I think it may be a 50-cent piece.
How many did you get for
That
144?
is
Or
our
the
official
Sacagawea
logo.
dollar. That's smaller than a 50-cent piece.
Maybe 20.
20. It says quantity 20 for $144, and that's with a discount.
Joanne.
I like it. Yeah,
Maybe the
I'll see if I get out
Okay,
a quarter.
Andrew.
dollar. Maybe not 50-cent piece, a gold dollar.
Yeah, see if you can make it a little bit bigger and bring us back another price. And I'll take a really hard look at our budget because I think we could we could find.
Council budget.
Miscellaneous funds specifically because they could be used for anything, but I think we have money in a miscellaneous fund that could be used for this, that was budgeted for things like this.
How about new laptops before we get pinned?
I'm waiting for the RAM prices to drop.
Okay, let's,
I want a new laptop and I want Excel.
You want Excel?
Yes.
I do not want Google Sheets anymore.
Say, that'll cost a
Bart?
little more.
okay, let's
You're
move on.
getting 20
Okay, let's,
of them?
okay.
That'll be
What?
Who gets one?
A
You're getting
laptop?
just 20 of them.
Who got 20 of them?
Who gets,
You're ordering how many of them?
Oh,
For
of these.
future-
It'd be like for future, it makes sense to have some on hand when someone else gets elected so that we have to order one at a time. You know, they're
Okay.
more expensive to do it that way. So it would mostly just be for the 7 of us and probably Andrew. Or if you wanted to join us, you could wear
No,
one.
no, there's only 7 stars. I wouldn't want to.
Well, you're the mountain, George.
What you'd have to do is put 7 stars and then a dot. or
A
something.
dot.
I think 7 stars, I think you, that's fine.
Okay.
Once I'm done with the council, I'd pass mine on to the next person, so.
And Catherine brought up another good idea, like even just a name tag, just, those name tags aren't very expensive, the ones that are magnet. Anyway.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
maybe jump on a discount that we get over at,
Call Julie. Okay, the earthquake scenario training, that's tomorrow night at 6, from 6 to 8. Last year there were several of us there. They haven't.
It's Thursday.
Thursday night, sorry, Thursday is not tomorrow. Last time we went, they have a specific seat lined up for each one of us. We have a specific duties. They have like a thing that you wear.
do they kill anybody off?
No, but if an emergency happened, we should be prepared to go and know what we need to do. And it was really
They had
insightful.
us submit, a disaster, like call it in, like as if we had
Yeah.
experienced a real disaster. Mine was the brisket I was cooking got burned. And they didn't respond as quick as I wanted them to.
Well, and they also.
It was good exercise.
It was, and they showed us how to get on the computer and find different information like water and where you can find a lot of things on those computers. There's a computer set up for our treasurer, there's one for our audit, like there is a place for each of us to be for when something happens. And so anybody that can be there, that would be great. County Council portraits next Tuesday night at 4 o'clock.
County Council and Executive.
And Executive,
George.
you have to join us on that one. It's the picture that's in this room, we need to redo that, and so it has you and Joanne in it. So we will be doing that next Tuesday at 4 o'clock on the 21st, before our regular meeting.
Do we need an hour before our meeting?
Yeah, well, by the time we take individual pictures and get a group shot.
I'll have to redo my hair once I get here.
I know, Mark. We'll give you some extra time. Okay,
Which pen do I wear?
you can choose
If
whatever.
only you had the new one.
I wish we had the new ones. Okay. NIMS training for senior officials, that one's on April 25th in Logan. Is that really important for us to be there? Like, tell me the difference in what we're gonna do for you, and then how this one, if you would,
I don't think we
really
can
quick.
be there. I think it's during UAC, isn't it?
No, the 25th is a Saturday. It's the Saturday before you.
Oh, that's state convention.
Oh, that's the state convention.
There's no way you're gonna be there.
Nobody's gonna be there, sorry. Okay.
So, I understand, and absolutely, in your council guidebook, if you'll go through that, you'll understand a little bit more what NIMS is and why NIMS is important even for the elected official.
Okay, we'll work on that. Yeah, I forgot about that. That is the day of the state convention. Okay, legislative conference in UAC, 28th through the 30th. I know Dave is not going to be able to go. Is there anyone else that cannot be there? Are we all going to try and be there? No, you will be there because I'm not driving down there by myself.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay. All right, anything else? Smithfield Health Days Parade, we've got parades coming up. This is how I feel about the parades. We should be wearing matching shirts, and we should have some music that plays, and we should have flags on our truck. And to just walk down there, we're not very exciting, and I think we can do a better job. If we're gonna take the trouble to be in these parades. So I'm gonna go to the logo shop and see what it would cost to have shirts, and we might have to buy them ourselves, but I would like to have a shirt that matches when we go on the parades.
We're a hit with the kids, we throw candy, so.
I know, but I think we should look like a cohesive group, and I think it's important.
Chair, you left off Black and White Days, and that's an important parade,
Yeah,
It
any
is.
black and white days, sure.
Do you know why it's Black and White Days?
Because of a cow.
Yeah, Holsteins.
I know, the Holsteins. When is that one? It's not on our list, is it?
That's the 16th.
The 16th of May?
The week after.
16th of May. It's at 5 p.m.
Friday night, isn't it?
Is it Friday night? So
Usually.
15th. It's at 5 p.m.
Okay. All
Gas
right.
is too expensive. I can't drive up there for that.
All right, does anyone have any other, we've lost control. Does anyone have any other business before we adjourn?
I have.
Okay, thank you, Joanne.
It's been called to my attention that, in January of 2022, the Cache County School District shall base on the voting precincts. Anyway, the school districts need to coincide with the voting precinct.
Yes.
And District 3, for example, has Nibley 1, 2, 3, 4 oh no, that's not the one. District 4 has North Logan 5 and 6, River Heights 1 and 2, and Providence 4, 5, and 6. How come they're everywhere?
You know what, Bryson and I have talked about this. They can't change it during an election year, but that is on their the clerk's radar, and it will be.
And they're opening up the 2 middle schools
Yeah,
now.
it's contiguous.
It is, yeah.
Same with
What's that mean?
They all touch each other, like.
Yeah.
Means it can't be broken up.
They do touch each other? North Logan and River Heights? They touch?
I can show you on the map. You want to see the map?
You have to go over the mountain and drop down,
Very similar to,
kind of like
say,
Jason Thompson's district.
That one's gotta be
If
fixed.
you go through the mountain and then drop down.
Something I never could do, but
It could be re-looked at, and I think.
flies, I guess that's okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it could be re-looked at, but due to state code, no boundaries can be changed, like, for example, like the census.
Oh, not until 2030?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have to find some way to balance the
Yes, the
number of
numbers.
voters. I mean, it's never gonna be,
It's a voting district?
as pretty and square as we want it to be.
Also,
That girl you saw that I said, I think her name's Deidre.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
She's
Right.
like, this is ridiculous. I'm on a school board. Maybe it wasn't her.
so that's kind of.
If you take away the what?
You take away Logan City School District, like out of the equation, then they're contiguous to their touch. Just because the Logan City School District is just Logan City, very similar to the fire district, they go out to Logan City.
Okay.
Okay, is that yours? All right. Hey, would someone make a motion to adjourn, please?
Reports, Councilmember?
Oh, does anyone, sorry, does
That was
anyone
my
else?
report, so I'm
Okay.
done.
Yes, let's do some council member reports.
Well, I attended the Cash Visitors Bureau thing, and that's again tomorrow, I'll go to it. They
Perfect.
approved all the grants for all the different entities.
Okay. Nolan, do you have a report?
No, not really. I have nothing.
Okay.
No, thank you.
Dave?
If you ever have an opportunity to go with our Development Services Inspector back there, Brian Abbott.
I get first bit.
No, it is really fun to watch him run a tape measure and look at things and ask him questions and just do it like it's just natural, like, and he's looking for things and just making a conversation, and you know, he'd be a good thief if you're not careful, you know, the way he's just smooth. And it's really neat to watch, very professional too. And he has an amazing rapport with the people, you know, that are in the buildings and the people, the site superintendents and things like that. I was really, really impressed, so.
Good job, Brian.
If he invites you, aren't you picky who you invite?
He's calling
Oh,
me. He's
it's
calling.
not now.
He's calling me next.
No, he's not. You've opened the door.
Okay, Mark.
We've got OMP this Friday.
Okay.
Oh, and also Friday afternoon, I will not leave the ice arena until I have a formal understanding of what the director's trying to tell Andrew and I about the interlocal agreement there.
I thought the next board meeting was June.
Right, but I'm just gonna go hang out until he talks to
Till
me.
they talk to you. Okay. Catherine and I met with the executive Monday morning, that was yesterday, and Andrew and I typed up a summary of that, but I didn't save it properly in Google Docs. So I wanted you to have it before tonight, but he'll get that to you so you can see the things we talked about. And we decided, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm talking. No, we decided that
I
we're,
didn't say I was done.
okay.
Okay, I'm done.
All right, we decided that we are going to meet every Monday morning at 8:30 with the executive, so that there's so much going on in the county, we want to make sure everyone's kept up to date. Catherine and I usually do that together. If any of you have something you would like addressed with the executive's office, please let us know, or if you would like to join us, we can have one other council member with us. You would always be welcome, so please be aware that we are gonna try and keep that schedule as often as we can, and that we would love to have input from the rest of you, and I will try and get out summaries to you so that you know what we're talking about. And that's my report, so.
Are you at those meetings all the time, Kurt?
Yes, Kurt's there and Andrew comes, and we've invited Dane, and at times we've talked about things that have legal ramifications, and so.
Where do you have it?
Just in the conference room of the executive's office. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm ready for a motion.
Move to adjourn. Second.
Moved in second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Say no one.
Thank you, everybody.
I really haven't. No, it was the planning commission. Bother you if I just show up as a citizen?
I go all the time, Joanne. I go to almost all of them.
Okay.
More than happy to have you there.
Kind of worried about coming, you know, that I